Hello, everyone. Welcome back, gifties, to another episode of What a Gift, the podcast where we're trying to go from chaotic goblins to peaceful pilgrims. I'm Sarah.
I'm Jule. Welcome back, gifties. Today we're going to be diving into foundational texts and underdogs. And
Heck yeah.
what do we mean by that? Where are we going?
I can't wait to find out. Oh, yeah, I already know.
And at the end of the episode, we're going to take another dive into some of the archives, maybe an old journal entry, maybe an old Facebook status. Stay tuned.
Let's see where the wind blows us.
But in the meantime, Sarah, how's it going? How's life?
It's going so well. Thanks for asking, Jewel. So good to see you again.
You too.
I recently have been on a mall kick. Have you been to the mall?
Oh my gosh.
In the last decade?
A shopping mall?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. No, I haven't.
I know. I hadn't either, but it's something I do now. It's a place I frequent, usually on a Sunday, have an afternoon stroll inside.
Okay, so it's not like mission based, like you're not like there to get a specific thing. It's more to like experience the mall.
It is, yep. It's more towards the latter. However, you tell yourself the former, right? You're like, I'm gonna go to get this thing, and then all of a sudden you've been there 3 hours
and
you're
in a massage chair outside of Cinnabon, like
next to someone's dad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've gotten at least 10,000 steps. You've been in every store,
right?
And you're having the time of your life. So yeah, I love the mall. So I'm on cloud 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
A mall is a throwback. I feel like there were the days where I'd be like, Mom, can I please have a ride to the
mall?
Yeah. But now I feel like when I go, I'm like, I'm so poor.
that is.
I'm like, I need to get out of here. I'm not a good window shopper.
That is a sad thing. And you go from like looking at all the stores that you used to love, or even the stores like, I don't know, I pass a Madewell and I'm like, oh, I could drop serious coin in that if I was a size 2. And then I walk by like a, I don't know, like a, wow, I've spaced the name. Where do you get like those really nice crock pots?
Oh, like Le Creuset?
Yeah, one of those stores. And I'm like,
yeah,
I want everything in that store. And I used to be like, Mom,
I know,
keep walking.
Our interests have shifted. Yeah. I used to be in Claire's, like, blinging out, buying, like, a glitter roll eyeshadow. Totally, yeah. And now I'm like,
William and Morris,
and you're just like cutting board.
Totally.
So, yeah. But wow, okay, a mall.
Yeah,
there's actually a really good mall in the Philadelphia area.
Wow, okay.
Some say it's the second best in the country. I'm from there famously. Some say it's second best in the country, some say first, but it's
I must come.
It's actually overwhelming to go there, but maybe I'll dip my toe back in since
must, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, how have you been?
Doing well. Today is at the time of recording, today's my little sister's birthday. And so my siblings and I have like a group chat where whenever it's someone's birthday, people send like whatever throwback photos they have of, just like happy birthday, so and dump a bunch of photos from like childhood and stuff. And so it's like kind of a gift for everybody when it's somebody's birthday, because some of the photos are so, like, especially, so this is my second youngest sibling, and looking back at like how little she was and so like you're suddenly just like no, time is a thief. But
totally.
But I was having fun flipping through the photos in the group chat today.
Cute. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Cool. Love a family.
Yeah. Family. Do you have a family group chat?
Family throwback. Yeah, we have multiple. We have like the siblings, and then we have like the siblings and their spouses / significant others.
Oh wow, okay.
And then we have the family, and then we have the family without dad.
Ooh. we have one of those too.
You know why? Because he has the green text.
Oh.
He has a droid. Okay, so shunned.
Yeah, my dad had the green text till literally quite recently.
How did you get him to change
the game? I don't know. I think it was like, he had to get a new phone and just I think he might have stumbled into it, because he definitely didn't seem to care that he had the green text.
I feel like my dad for some reason is like adamantly opposed. He's like,
wow,
absolutely not. I will not give my money to Apple.
It's actually so sad when someone becomes an outcast from the group chat because of the green texts.
I'm like, we can't FaceTime you I don't know. It's just, it's sad. Anyways, personal problems. But yeah, we definitely have family group chats. They will never see the light of day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have some pretty good gifts to unwrap today. We're going to dive into the past, dive into our stories a little, and have some fun. So,
perfect. What are you going to unwrap for us first, Jule?
Okay, so my gift this week is foundational texts. Okay, what do I mean? Have you heard? Do you use that phrase at all? I feel like it might be like a me phrase, or me and like my one friend.
The first thing I think of is like the first text message you send a new friend when you like become friends with someone and you're like, okay, this is like a pivotal moment. I have to set the tone.
Okay,
you know?
It does sound like that.
And then I was like, I don't think she's thinking about that. So then I obviously the word text makes me think of textbooks when I'm like, there's no way she's talking about that. So I could only imagine it means books or media that have shaped you.
Exactly.
Great.
Exactly. So, it's like, what are the crucial text, be it a movie, a book, like that have really informed your personality and like shaped your path.
Okay, I'm excited. Unwrap it.
And so and I feel like I talk about this in many conversations of just like books I love or imagining that I'm the main character in this way. But I think it is fun to think about like what were, even for like maybe for your family growing up or for you, like what were the things where you're like, this is my personality now? Yeah. Are any coming to mind?
Our family was definitely more of like a watch family. Like we had like evening shows and movies that we would often come together for. So for instance, we would come home and like every day Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy we would watch, and then whatever else comes on that night. So we were big Survivor family. American Idol, I remember the very first episode of American Idol back in the day, things like that. But I do feel like family movie night was a cornerstone of the Stanley family growing up. And yeah, I think they can't help but form us, right? Like things like Homeward Bound and Land Before Time. Like
Land Before Time, what I would give to chew on a tree star. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? The sound effect in Land Before Time where like they're crunching on the leaves. I'm like, I need that. I need that leaf.
Yeah, it's like the cheese and like the pizza of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, cartoon foods were on another level.
Next level.
But so like,
anyways, I feel like it didn't really like
that you like modeled yourself after, or like watching something being like, I'm gonna be that kind of girl. You know what I mean?
I feel like for like 3 Halloweens in a row, I was Belle and things, or like kind of those things. And I do think like playing pretend, it was often like a princess, like a Disney princess or something. Though I do remember, what was that movie called? Like, is it Little Princess?
Yeah, A Little Princess.
Yeah, when like the dad, like, is that the right movie?
I don't know.
When the dad like gets lost at war or something, I'm forgetting the premise, but basically like he ends up like with memory loss in the house next door, recovering, and she has become an orphan, and so she's like in this terrible situation. These girls are all making, but she like has such a beautiful imagination. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I think like that damsel in distress, like, but as like a child, I feel like I would like go into my room and like
for sure. Like I totally relate to the Belle thing. Like I feel like I grew into more of a Mulan, but in the early days, Belle was, I was like, she's such a bookworm. Like she sees the charm beneath the layers of the beast, you know, like, and I don't know, I just thought she was definitely my favorite Disney princess, and especially the one, like, I feel like in all Disney movies there's like an I want song, you know, like where they're like, who am I, where am I headed, and the part where Belle's like, I want adventure in the great wide somewhere, I would be like in my backyard, like, I'd be like, I want adventure, like I'd be like trapped at home being homeschooled, like absolutely rolling in the grass singing that song. But yeah, I feel like those, like, I don't know, especially those early stirring kind of like, okay, who am I, what am I gonna be like kind of thing, I think is major. I was definitely like a Anne of Green Gables, Little Women, Pride and Prejudice soul, like the like 5-hour BBC Pride and Prejudice starring Colin Firth. Are you familiar?
I am familiar, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I would say when I think of foundational texts in my life, other than the Bible,
Great disclaimer.
The BBC Pride and Prejudice is major. And,
okay.
And I send love and sympathy to people who love the Keira Knightley one.
Sure.
Love, sympathy, and I'm sorry, reprimand and rejection. It's
okay.
not. It's
really
not as good of an adaptation, but
okay.
the 5-hour Colin Firth one, like I have never felt so deeply as being a kid watching that and being like I feel like that's where my romantic streak really started to come alive. Same with Anne of Green Gables. I was like in Anne of Green Gables, she's constantly walking through nature and talking about like Lover's Lane and Lavender Vale, and like I seriously would do the same. It'd be in my backyard. I'd be like, here I am in Lover's Lane. I'm like next to my dad weed whacking. But like, I don't know, just kind of this like, I feel like so many of those early stories, like it was like, okay, I'm romanticizing my life kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think for movies too, like I think for people our age and people all over the world, a certain film affected how we saw life. Were you a victim / a viewer of The Truman Show?
Not until, I don't think I saw it until college.
Oh my gosh, okay. Yeah. Did it impact you when you saw it? Or
yeah, I thought it was crazy. I was like, where
exactly,
are the cameras?
Exactly.
Am I in a dome?
It literally rewired my brain when I saw that movie because we watched it for a family movie night, and I was like, okay, it all makes sense. Like
that's why my life is the way that it is.
Literally, I was constantly trying to like crack I'd be like, Mom, I know you're an actor. It's okay. I know you feel guilt. We can talk about it. Like, and she was just like, do your chores and shut up. Like, and I even still like, I just kind of made, I don't know, in college in psych class, there's like a term I learned called adolescent egocentrism of like feeling like everybody's watching me. Oh, like every move I make is like globally important, and like
we call that main character energy.
It has been rebranded to main character energy, but it can really like cripple your life. Like if you really feel like everyone's watching everything I do and I have to make a choice for the plot, you know, like, and that's how I started to live, like from The Truman Show as a foundational text.
Wow.
Where like I don't know, I remember certain times imagining, like it was partially like imagination, but I'd be like, okay, they're still casting my husband, you know, they're having a hard time finding the right actor, so they've like thrown me some other plot lines, but like so that's like later in life, but I would like always see my life as a movie because of that. So slowly I feel like I'm starting to shake that a little bit, and because if you really go around making decisions for the plot, it can go awry quickly.
Like That's So Raven. Did you ever watch that?
That's So Raven, of course.
Yeah, I'm like, if you just did nothing and pretend you didn't have the vision, probably your life would be chill. But it's like she has the vision, and then it's like all this chaos happens. So.
So I just I feel like those things in many ways, I love them and feel an affection for them, but there are early things I look back on as like, oh, this broke my brain. Like where I just like suddenly was sure I was in this certain type of story, and like I feel like when you live like trying to write your life as like a specific story, it can be dissatisfying sometimes when it's just like, I don't know, it can make you kind of avoid what's actually happening in the present moment and be constantly like grasping after this other thing or wanting to, I don't know, like I feel like those are like texts that like put a longing in me that then kind of like led to chaos. But I do think that kind of foundational like early influence type thing can also like open up a longing in us that is good, and you know like something where it's like, okay, I want, you know, like I don't know, I think that I think it can do both.
See the world in a different way, right? Like I feel like you just were able to like have such a romantic and like imaginative view of your childhood and of the world as a child because you read these things and like you saw these movies that like, I don't know, they like brought you out of yourself, which I think is ultimately a good thing at times, you know, like I think self-knowledge is good, but I think like anytime we can kind of I mean that's what we have in common with God. You know, like animals aren't sitting around daydreaming, but like we get to do that. So I think that, I don't know, in a lot of ways I feel like I'm jealous sometimes of hearing of your childhood, because I'm like, that is such a gift that like you were introduced to those books, and that like your parents like made you get out and read and like made you go do these things.
Well, I think it really was like those things echoed a lot more loudly because I was homeschooled, like, and didn't have a lot going on. Like, there were so many days where I was just like on my own reading a book or whatever, where so suddenly they took on, and even with like, we didn't watch a lot of TV or movies, so consequently the Truman Show like blew my mind with seeing it, you know, like, so I do think they echoed a lot more strongly than if I was like going to school and around a million people and felt like, you know, like, so I think it's funny, like, when I look at my like early life, I'm like, oh wow, I was living like I don't know, I was kind of this like shut in, like a girl who was imagining what life was gonna be like, you know, and then I still like, I think now in adulthood I'm like, we gotta get up there, like life doesn't happen to you if you're inside, you know, like I feel like it has made me hyper social kind of because I was so like removed for a while, but the texts that shape us, I feel like, and a later one was okay, I didn't even plan this, but in high school, I guess it was high school, college, I dabbled in watching Gossip Girl, and that's when I started wearing headbands because of Blair Waldorf. So that was a later foundational text, but I used to have like a clothesline in my room that had like 50 headbands because I was like, I wear headbands now. So, and has carried into adulthood. So
totally,
these things can really shape our lives.
They really, really can. Yep.
Yeah.
I definitely tried to recreate some Liz McGuire outfits back in my day.
Yep, she was the peak of fashion. I know, I'm serious. Like the butterfly clips, the colorful shirts and jeans.
The crimped hair, the platform sandals, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
so speaking of high school.
Yeah, what gift are you unwrapping this week?
I am unwrapping the theme, you could say, of being an underdog.
Okay, I love it.
Okay, so this theme for me started inherently because of my dad's job. I was born into a Navy family, and this had us moving every 2 years. So naturally, I was the underdog. Like, I would move schools every 2 years and have to start over. And a lot of times it was into military communities, and so everyone's in the same boat, and so people just dive right in. Until the summer before my senior year of high school, when I famously moved to Colorado Springs. And my parents are like, this is my dad's last duty station before he retires, so they're going to buy a house. They want to buy a house with some land, and so we moved to like the outskirts of Colorado Springs. This, like, until very recently was like kind of like a farming community. Like, there was still like posts outside of our high school where people would like have ridden their horses and like tied them up, like not like 10 years ago kind of thing.
Wow.
Yes. And so here I come, like I have moved to this town from England.
That's crazy.
And so yeah, it was, and I moved from a school that had 100 people total in my high school to a school that, like, I think my class was like almost 300 or 400 people.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was like one of very many. And as I meet people, a lot of them had been together since kindergarten, and I just can't even fathom that kind of history with stability, or like history with people. Like, these people knew so much about them, like each other and each other's families and stuff. So basically, not only am I moving somewhere before my senior year of high school, I also don't know anyone. I don't know how things work. I don't know the social circles. I don't know the teachers. I don't know anything. But thank God I was an athlete. And so I moved to Colorado Springs, and softball was like my sport. Shout out Uncle Rick. When I lived in San Diego, he got me into softball. With my cousins, Brianna, Caitlin, Amber, if you're watching, I love you. And so anyways, I had played softball kind of competitively, or like at least recreationally, for like 8-9 years at this point. But in in Colorado, softball is a fall sport, which is unlike anywhere in the world.
Oh, wow.
To my knowledge. And so anyways, I moved to Colorado Springs, and like 5 days later I have to go to softball tryouts, and I get altitude sickness every day.
Oh my gosh.
And I am just like tossing my cookies every practice.
Oh no. And it was tryouts, like they were gonna make cuts.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
And in the midst of that, my coach was like, all right, she handpicks like 9 people to certain positions, and then after they get like 6 or 7 like balls hit to them each, then she's like, okay, 9 more, like get out there. And then we each got 1 ball hit to us, and it was just like, I'm in America now, I'm at this big high school, I can either like sit the bench my senior year, or I can go to like Friday night football games. And so I quit softball my senior year, making me even further of an underdog. This was like the one thing that I knew I was good at, that I knew I could have. And I felt like I wasn't going to get a fair shake. So all that to say, I had to let my personality do its thing. And in class, I'm like trying to make people laugh. I'm going so far out of my comfort zone. I didn't know who I was. But I felt like I had to. It was like, yeah, I felt like I could always make friends because you have to move. This was like an entirely new experience. And I think there was just something of like, yeah, again, like I could sit in silence by myself all year, or I can make the most of it. And I just like had to go for it. I was voted, Jule, class of clown.
Oh my gosh.
My senior year. You know when you vote for superlatives, it's like 2 months into
huge.
school.
And in a big high school,
yeah,
getting any superlative is major.
Yeah, so okay, you're looking at her.
From shrinking, puking wallflower at softball tryout.
Exactly. It's a blur. It is a day.
An underdog tale,
yeah, and
sure.
Yeah, it was just crazy. But I do think there's something about like, there's just something innate in us that's like, we want to be great, you know, like we want like to do this. So like, yeah, some of my favorite movies, like 3 of my top 5 favorite movies are like based on a real story.
Right.
Like Miracle on Ice. Like they basically like ended the Cold War. I'm just kidding.
No, it's true. Yeah. I do think underdog stories like grip us and inspire us. And I also think most people, I think most people feel like underdogs, you know, and
totally.
But I am with you that I actually am one because I seriously relate so much to
we're all just faking it till we make
your
it.
high school experience, because we had, you know, we're so different but we're so similar in many ways. But as I keep bringing up every episode, I don't think I realized how much homeschooling has affected me until I started chatting about it so much. But I was homeschooled from kindergarten through 8th grade and had very little.
Something I could never imagine.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I have 9 siblings, so there were some built-in
that's fun.
Friends/bullies. But and then we would also play sports with like the local parish and like go hang out with other homeschoolers, which I wasn't too interested in, but like and when I would play sports with the local parish, they weren't very nice to me. Like I just like I feel like all through kindergarten through 8th grade was very much like on my own, dreaming of another life. And then finally in 9th grade I was sent to public high school. So I literally went from like
that's crazy
tiny fish bowl to the ocean, like and similar, like in my high school every class had like 400 kids. It was this huge high school, and I felt a similar urgency of like, I can be a nobody, I can be somebody, you know, like this, I've been dreaming of this my whole life, like it's now or never. And when I think of my first day of school at this high school, I had been dreaming of and planning for this day for so long. And I like, at the time, polo shirts were very popular. So I like had gotten a new polo shirt from American Eagle. Like I was like, okay, a name brand shirt. And I planned my outfit. I was going to wear this American Eagle polo shirt, boot cut jeans, sneakers. Cause I was like, I hear you walk around a lot in high school. Like
you're just like barefoot and like a tunic at home.
But the sneakers were like, you know, such like ugly mom sneakers kind of thing. And then I was like, I'm gonna straighten my hair. And so I remember waking up so early the first day of school, straighten my hair, and you know, school starts like Labor Day. It's still really hot out.
Yeah.
And I was so anxious. I was like, okay, I've never been on a school bus in my life. Like, I'm going to go to the bus stop. And I got to the bus stop like 10 to 20 minutes early, which I didn't realize like nobody does. So I get there. Nobody's at the bus stop. It's extremely hot and sunny out. And I'm pacing around so nervous. And my freshly straightened hair is slowly starting to like, frizz out. And I'm in my bootcut jeans just like, okay, first day of school. And I got there so early that I was like, did I miss the bus? Like,
anxiety through
seriously.
The roof. Yeah.
And so finally the bus comes and it was already pretty full of kids. And I was like, and I remember like the yellow doors opening and being like, my dreams are like, I'm going on a school bus for the first time in my life. So I climb on the school bus and there weren't any benches that were like totally open. Like they all had someone in it. And so like about 3 rows in, I see this kid. He was kind of like a greasy, grumpy looking kid. And I was like, good morning. I was like, good morning. Would it be okay if I sat with you? And I will never forget, he was slumped over his like backpack and he looked up at me and he was like, you don't gotta ask. And I was like, okay, cool.
It's so, like chain smoking cigarettes. What?
So I like, so I slide in the seat next to him and I'm like, okay, all right, we're here. We have a seat. And at the time, like, so some people had iPods at the time, but I was still in like Discman world. So I had my like Discman like
of course
zipped into the top of my backpack so no one would see it. So I like have my headphones in and I'm listening to like Fall Out Boy. Like I'm like, hey, school, here we come.
Yep.
And it was the scariest, hardest day from that moment on, where I was seriously like heart pounding in the hallways. Like a class would let out and people would change classes and I was like I cannot believe this is happening. It's like so scary. And okay,
you're a survivor.
I know I'm really giving every detail, but something sad is about to happen. So in 3rd period, I ran into a girl who I had been on. I knew her from basketball at our parish. Like we had done Pee Wee basketball together. And I was like, she probably doesn't remember me, whatever. And she was like, hey, like, how's it going? I remember you from basketball. And was so warm and nice to me. And she was wearing like literally a cheerleader uniform, like a movie. Like she was so beautiful. And she was like, you should sit with me at lunch. Like we have the same lunch or whatever.
Whoa.
Like literally
so
an angel of kindness. I was like, really? Like I'm sweating. My hair has frizzed out. My polo shirt is askew. You know, and I could not believe it. And she was like, yeah, just like look for blah, 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 this table. You know, like she was so confident and sure that I should sit with her. Okay.
Oh, no.
I get to the lunchroom and I had packed my own lunch and it was this kind of modeled like tuna sandwich, which at this point was like room temp and not food safe. And I get into this huge cafeteria and sure enough, like, and I saw her and she pointed to a table.
Spotlight glowing on her.
Yeah. And she had pointed to a table, but she was heading in to buy like lunch into the little like purchase lunch area. So I go up to the table and there's a couple girls there.
No.
And I was like, hey guys, Mariah said I should sit with you guys. And this one like little blonde cheerleader girl was like, I think our table's full. And I was like, oh, well, Mariah just like told me I could sit with you. And she's like, yeah, sorry, it's full, the table. So
this is a movie.
So I walk away with my like mangled brown paper bag of tuna fish. And I like went and sat at this other table with like a bunch of goth kids.
The guy from the bus.
And halfway through lunch, I just like couldn't bear it anymore, and I just went in the bathroom and stood in a stall until lunch was over.
No, Jule.
Okay, I wasn't expecting for so here, but that was seriously like that was the beginning of my dream of being out in the world and going to high school.
Yeah.
And literally the next day,
like Underdog in the dictionary is a picture of freshman
of me
first day of school Jule
stall, flushing my tuna sandwich down the toilet. But the next day, the same girl was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that happened." Like, I sat with her again. Oh. She ended up being my best friend through high school. I literally just went to her child's first birthday party. And just that one friend reaching out, like,
yeah, makes all the difference.
I decided to audition for the play. I became, you know, like, and throughout high school, I feel like I gained more and more, like, people skills and confidence. But when I look back, I'm like, like, every high school memory I have, or, like, even just, like, my current social skills, I'm like, these are precious, you know, like, these these were hard earned. So I definitely relate to the idea of being an underdog. Sorry, I feel like that story really I forgot I was how
clinging to your every word. It's crazy.
So
wow,
but
we're survivors.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
but I really think most people in their life can look back at something like that and see, like, okay, I felt on the outside, or I didn't believe myself, or, like,
100%.
And here I am now, and I feel like...
and I feel like being an underdog has been, like, rebranded as, like, imposter syndrome or something, you know, where it's like, yeah, like, I've gotten this opportunity and I think so little of myself, or I, like, just struggle to believe that, like, I earned that, or that, like, I can even receive this pure gift that's been given to me because of whatever. And it's like, no, like, we are, like, well, one, everyone thinks that, you know, like, everyone gets a little bit nervous for some things, like first days of school, new job, whatever, but yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, what do you mean? Like,
right, yeah, totally. And
like,
also, I think
belong here.
Yes, and I think we can have the narrative in our head of, like, I'm an underdog, like, I shouldn't speak up, I shouldn't, like, or just, like, it's almost like a cop-out for me at this point, where I'll just assume I'm an outsider, an underdog, or I'm a mess, and these people are better, you know, whatever it is, and it's, like, realizing, like, oh, other people don't see me that way, like, God doesn't see me that way. I actually could walk in here and decide, like, to be confident and embrace, you know, like, and to actually look around for the trembling girl who does need to sit at my table, or, you know, like, I think, like, it really is a mind, you know, like, we don't want to just write this narrative forever of, like, yeah, that's me, I'm an underdog, because I think at a certain point we have to shift from underdog to, like, the
dog
champion, and the one who's lifting up, like, the little underdog. So
couldn't agree more.
That's a good one. Good gift, being an underdog. But I think for both of us, it really was a gift where, you know, I think our personalities really blossomed.
Truly, it made us
in adversity. For sure.
Yeah. Amen.
Wow,
what an episode.
What's our closing segment?
Do still have time for a segment? Our closing segment, of course, is the gift of perspective. We've been talking about
this is perfect.
The past, so we're gonna stay there for a second longer. We have each brought with us
a journal entry.
Except I'm going to use a Facebook status. I just remembered.
Oh, okay. So. Perfect. So the gift of perspective is our segment where we dive back to a memory or a journal entry or an experience where something was going on with us, and we marvel.
We chose to write it down.
Yeah.
Publicly or privately.
Okay, it's crazy because in honor of me sharing my traumatic story of the school bus, I found a journal entry from the year before I went to high school.
No way.
That ties in with that very thing.
So, like, you're in 8th grade and you know you're going to high school next year.
Yes, and my whole life in 8th grade was planning, like, okay, what am I going to be like in high school? Okay, hang on. Okay, here it is.
All right.
Okay, so this is December 2004.
Wow. A time capsule.
I think I'm actually going to be in for a pretty big shock when I go to school next year. Understatement.
Yeah.
I met my future bus driver when I was at the hair cuttery yesterday.
The hair cuttery.
I remember there was a hair cuttery, like, walking distance from my parents' house, so I would just go and be like, give me the work.
Who are you?
I was an 8th grader alone at the hair cuttery, and at the hair cuttery yesterday. I was sitting there with her and this lady with her 2 sons, and the bus driver lady's like, what street are you on? I said Clearfield. She's like, oh, you'll be on my bus. Bus 36 is the worst bus in the district. This is in quotes. My bus has all the smokers, drinkers, and hoochie dancers. Make sure you sit in the front. I was like, okay.
This explains why you just snagged that first seat.
Seriously. She's like, the only reason I drive that bus is because my son's on it and I don't want him to keep getting beat up.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, wow. Now I'm really excited. And we both laughed. I gotta go. More later. So that's a haunting preview of the first bus ride I ultimately did have.
To be fair,
I
you can't say
like
you weren't warned.
I feel like I came out actually quite unscathed based on what she said it was going to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely we have a lot of perspective on that entry now.
Totally.
What about
that's
you?
Crazy.
What are we gaining perspective on?
Okay, quick. First of all, about the school buses and the American high school experience. Like, when I live abroad, people always ask, like, are yellow school buses real? I'm like,
really?
Yes. And they're like, they're not just in the movies. I'm like, no, like, it's a everyday American experience. And then they'll talk about, like, the cafeteria and the people at the tables, and like, do people really say you can't sit there and like all that stuff? And I'm like, no, it's all 100% true. Real. That's why it's in the movie.
To our overseas gifties, it's real. It's funny. It's like the yellow school bus is the red phone booth of
America. Yeah, totally. Okay. Okay, I have a short and sweet and philosophical Facebook status from 2011, October 1st. I found it necessary to say, pretty is what you are, beauty is what you do with it.
Oh my gosh. Did you write, like, that was an original?
I have no idea. I doubt it. Like, what? Who's...
I actually love that.
I don't think
pretty is what you are. Beauty is what you do with it. Okay.
So ponder that. We don't have much more to say.
That is
to
a
expand
gift
on that,
to us all. We will carry it from this episode.
But I think that's a good perspective to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
and you know what, gifties? You are pretty. And so beautiful. Get out there and be beautiful.
Ooh. I love that. Well, we dove into a lot today. More than maybe we intended. I'm fully sweating.
You did great.
But yeah, this has been a gift.
It has, yeah.
Gifties, we love ya. Make sure you follow us, and you can always join the combo by DMing us, leaving a comment, leave us a good review, subscribe,
share with your friends.
We're happy you're here.
Relive your high school memories.
Sarah, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Sarah Raw. What about you, Jule?
I'm also on Instagram at Copacabana. The O is a 0. So this has been another amazing episode of What a Gift.
It has been.
Excited for the next one, and we'll see you next week. Gifties, don't forget, life is a gift.
So receive it. Bye.
Bye.